High in the Himalayas, nestled among the clouds, lies a small kingdom untouched by the relentless march of time. Bhutan, the land of the thunder dragon, has long captivated the world's imagination with its pristine landscapes, vibrant culture, and deeply rooted spiritual beliefs. This is a place where ancient monasteries cling to cliffs, prayer flags flutter in the wind, and the rhythms of life move at a slower, more deliberate pace. It is a place where happiness is not a fleeting emotion but a national goal. For centuries, Bhutan remained isolated from the outside world, its borders sealed to protect its unique way of life. This isolation allowed the country to develop a distinct cultural identity, one deeply intertwined with Buddhist principles. The Bhutanese people have always lived in harmony with their environment, their lives governed by the seasons and the rhythms of nature. The air is clean, the water is pure, and the mountains stand as silent guardians of a rich spiritual heritage. However, the winds of change are blowing across the Himalayas. The forces of globalization, with its promises of progress and prosperity, are knocking at Bhutan's door. Television, internet, and global trade have begun to penetrate the kingdom's once impermeable borders. While these forces bring opportunities for economic growth and development, they also pose a challenge to Bhutan's traditional values and way of life. As Bhutan steps cautiously into the 21st century, it faces a critical question: how can it embrace the benefits of globalization without sacrificing its soul? This is the delicate balance that Bhutan is striving to achieve. It is a journey fraught with challenges, but one that holds valuable lessons for a world grappling with the consequences of rapid modernization. At the heart of Bhutan's approach to modernization lies a radical idea: gross national happiness, or GNH. Coined by the fourth king of Bhutan, Jigme Singye Wangchuck, in 1972, GNH is a holistic development philosophy that prioritizes the well-being of its citizens over material wealth. Unlike the traditional economic indicator of gross domestic product, or GDP, which focuses solely on economic output, GNH measures progress by taking into account factors such as psychological well-being, health, education, good governance, and environmental sustainability. The four pillars of GNH: good governance, sustainable socio-economic development, cultural preservation, and environmental conservation, are interwoven into the very fabric of Bhutanese society. This philosophy is not merely a lofty ideal, it is enshrined in the country's constitution and informs every aspect of government policy. From education to healthcare to environmental protection, all policies are evaluated based on their impact on the happiness and well-being of the Bhutanese people. The concept of GNH has garnered international attention, with many seeing it as a refreshing alternative to the often destructive model of globalized development. In a world obsessed with material possessions and economic growth, Bhutan's focus on happiness and well-being offers a compelling counter-narrative. It suggests that true progress cannot be measured solely by economic indicators, but must also take into account the spiritual, cultural, and environmental well-being of a nation. However, the implementation of GNH is not without its challenges. Critics argue that it is a difficult concept to quantify and measure. They also point out that Bhutan's relative isolation and small size make it easier to implement such a policy, and that replicating it in larger, more complex societies would be a daunting task. Despite its idyllic image, Bhutan is not without its share of challenges. Poverty, unemployment, and rural-urban migration are growing concerns. The allure of modern life, with its promise of higher wages and greater opportunities, is drawing young people away from their villages and into the cities. This has led to a gradual erosion of traditional ways of life and the weakening of social structures that have long held Bhutanese society together. The influx of tourists, while providing a much-needed boost to the economy, also brings with it the risk of cultural commodification. There is a fine line between sharing one's culture with the world and turning it into a spectacle for the consumption of others. Bhutan's government is acutely aware of this challenge and has implemented strict tourism policies, including a minimum daily tariff, to manage the flow of visitors and minimize their impact on the environment and local communities. The introduction of television and the internet, while connecting Bhutan to the wider world, has also exposed its citizens to the consumerism and individualism that often accompany globalization. This has led to a rise in aspirations for material goods and a shift away from the traditional values of contentment and communal harmony. Bhutan's government is grappling with how to manage this cultural transition and prevent the erosion of the values that have long defined its identity. As Bhutan navigates the complexities of modernization, it must find ways to address these challenges while staying true to its core values. The path forward is not always clear, but the kingdom's commitment to GNH provides a compass for navigating the uncharted waters of the 21st century. Despite the challenges they face, the Bhutanese people are known for their resilience, their deep sense of community, and their unwavering faith. They are a people deeply connected to their land, their culture, and their spiritual beliefs. This strong sense of identity has helped them weather the storms of change and maintain a sense of continuity in the face of modernity. One of the most striking aspects of Bhutanese culture is the importance placed on community. The concept of Driglam Namzha, which translates to the code of conduct, governs everything from dress code to social etiquette. This emphasis on social harmony and respect for elders is deeply ingrained in the Bhutanese psyche and is reflected in their everyday interactions. The Bhutanese people are also deeply spiritual. Buddhism is not just a religion in Bhutan, it is a way of life. Prayer flags flutter from every mountaintop, prayer wheels hum in the breeze, and monasteries dot the landscape, serving as centers of learning and spiritual guidance. This deep-rooted spirituality provides a sense of peace and contentment even in the face of adversity. It is this strong sense of identity, rooted in tradition, community, and spirituality, that gives the Bhutanese people the strength to face the challenges of modernization. It is this inner resilience that will ultimately determine whether Bhutan can preserve its unique identity in a rapidly changing world.